Now, India is hoping for a successful Chandrayaan 3 mission. The countdown is on the planned soft landing on the south pole of the moon on August 23. It's a big opportunity for India to display its technical prowess and join the exclusive club of nations who have the ability to land an object on the moon for the scientific explorations.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Plus 5 seconds.
Lift off normal, even tracking.
Auto tracking.
India's space program is hoping to soar higher, riding on the wings of Chandrayaan 3.
4000 LVM-3 M4 rocket.
See, by Chandrayaan 3 success, definitely it will give one big thing for India, a technology for soft landing on a celestial body.
To reach another planet and have a soft landing can be the beginning of human space exploration at a later stage if you need.
India's first lunar mission in 2008 put Chandrayaan 1 in orbit around the moon and found water molecules in lunar soil. 11 years later, Chandrayaan 2 was only partly successful as the lander crashed, but the orbiter, ISRO said, yielded discovery-class findings.
Chandrayaan 2, unfortunately, the last part of the landing got into a problem. Otherwise, it would have been very great. That one is all being rectified in Chandrayaan 3. So it is a multiple set of changes which have been done on the Chandrayaan, that payload alone.
For Chandrayaan 3, ISRO scientists went back to the drawing board. They decided to go without an orbiter and cut costs by a third compared to Chandrayaan 2. The separate propulsion module is carrying a payload called SHAPE. While propulsion module will stay in orbit, SHAPE will look for signs of Earth-like habitable planets.
By landing at the near South Pole region where not explored region, unexplored region is landing, and carry out the science there. So the Chandrayaan 3 mission is expected to bring something new scientific findings.
Yet the big takeaway will come from a successful soft landing on the moon. It will put India on top of the league of the select nations capable of landing an object on the moon. The soft landing of the Vikram will affirm ISRO's technical prowess, demonstrate the ability to conduct scientific experiments on the lunar surface, and gain knowledge of the chemical composition on Earth's satellite.
The rover will go around, take very close pictures of the objects there, and more than that, try to map the mineralogy using some of the sensors and try to look for some seismic vibrations and so on. So it's a very important experiment, scientific experiment, as well as demonstration of our technical capability.
The achievement of Chandrayaan 3's objectives, besides bringing laurels to ISRO, could be the force multiplier for India's space industry. Bureau Report, Times Now.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Here comes a teaser from the moon. Pictures of the craters on the lunar surface sent by Chandrayaan 3 have aroused the curiosity of not just 1.4 billion Indians, but the whole world is watching what India's third lunar mission will deliver.
Definitely that is when if you are landing on the moon and to do the scientific experiments and roving, then definitely we are the fourth country in the world to do the function. That way, that globally, that also will join the elite club of landing on the moon. That group will join.
A successful landing on the moon will put India in the top league with the United States, Russia and China. India will become the fourth nation to achieve a soft landing on the moon and roll out a rover to explore the lunar wilderness. But this process hinges on ISRO's highly sophisticated technology.
It has to find its own landing place and reduce the velocity from something like 3 times the velocity of the aircraft to almost touchdown velocity, a soft placement of the spacecraft on the moon. So this requires very complex technologies involving stereo cameras, laser rangers, radars, and all these signals getting into a computer and carrying out all the operations in an autonomous manner. So it is a technology demonstration in terms of the hardware and software is the first and foremost challenge.
The lander is equipped with 4 payloads. It includes Chandra's surface thermophysical experiment to measure the thermal conductivity and temperature, an instrument to record seismic activity around the landing site, the Langmuir probe to estimate the plasma density and its variations, and fourth is a payload from NASA for lunar laser ranging studies.
अब लैंड हो चुका है लैंडर ऑन द सरफेस ऑफ द मून। विक्रम के लैंड होने के बाद रोवर बाहर आएगा एंड इट विल ऑफ कोर्स एक्सप्लोर द एंटायर सरफेस ऑफ मून एंड गैदर इंपॉर्टेंट क्रिटिकल डेटा, सेंड इट बैक टू अर्थ, ट्रांसमिट ऑल द डेटा बैक टू अर्थ। और जब ये सब कुछ हो रहा होगा, द रोवर एंड द लैंडर will always stay connected. This is the lander here on the surface of the moon, and here is the rover. The rover will move around the surface of the moon and collect important data.
The rover is carrying 2 critical payloads which will function for 1 lunar day, that is 14 Earth days. Both the instruments on the rover will study the elemental composition around the landing site. This technology demonstration of both hardware and software is testimony to ISRO's growing prowess from 1975 when it launched Aryabhat with Soviet assistance to landing an object on the moon. Chandrayaan 3's success could open the floodgates for India's space industry. Apart from boosting commercial opportunities, it will draw in venture capitalists. India's space economy, which was at $9.6 billion in 2020, is projected to grow to $13 billion in 2025.
We are collaborating not only with the space-faring nation, we are collaborating with the space-aspiring nation also. So we are trying to help them technologically how to do the space activities, also for launching the satellite, and they are making their satellites to make sometimes with no money or with small amount of money.
Bigger collaborations may follow Chandrayaan 3. For now, the world is waiting for India's lunar mission to unravel the mysteries on the south pole of the moon. Bureau Report, Times Now.
Plus 5 seconds.
Lift off normal. P1 tracking.
R2 tracking.
Outer space has intrigued mankind since time immemorial. We've come a long way from believing that Earth was the center of the universe.
प्रज्वलन और सफलतापूर्ण उत्थापन LVM-3 M4 रॉकेट का.
As imagined in movies, India will soon send our astronauts to the space thanks to the ambitious Gaganyaan mission.
Through scientists in the Mission Control Center.
Now let's tell you how Chandrayaan 3 is a boost to Gaganyaan 1, India's maiden manned mission. The successful launch proves that the LVM-3 is the most reliable heavy-lift vehicle of ISRO. The rocket uses multiple systems that are being human-rated, which means it has proven its ability to ensure safety of human passengers.
Certainly, it is going to be a very big quantum jump as far as the space program is concerned, to provide not only the living space, but the life support system, the protection against the radiation, and above all, safe return of the crew from space are the very important technology.
ISRO will conduct the first abort mission for the ambitious project by the end of this month. The abort mission will test a system that would aid the crew to exit the aircraft in the case of a failure in the mission.
So we need to have that the launch vehicle which is launching the mission must have that human reliability. The human rated version should be there. The second one is that we need to create a conducive environment for the astronauts to when they are in the space.
The same rocket that was used for the launch of Chandrayaan 3 will be used for Gaganyaan as well. Gaganyaan project aims to demonstrate human spaceflight capability by launching crew of 3 members to the moon. 3 crew members will be launched to an orbit of 400 kilometers for the mission and will be brought back safely to Earth by landing in the Indian sea waters. Under the mission, 3 flights will be sent into low Earth orbit, 2 unmanned flights and 1 human space flight. It will orbit the Earth at an altitude of 300 to 400 kilometers from Earth for 5 to 7 days. The spaceflight weighs 8,200 kilograms and is being done at the cost of 9,023 crore.
When we put a first human being, Indian, Rakesh Sharma, I was very much closely associated with it when I was in ISRO. In fact, we had kept it even as a top secret without anybody knowing. But that was by launch by a Soviet vehicle. Now it is not so. It is launched by Indian vehicle.
India would become the 4th nation to launch its own crewed spacecraft after Russia, the United States and China. While our focus has been on Chandrayaan 3, scientists have consistently been working on the Gaganyaan mission. The second phase of recovery trials marks an important milestone in the Gaganyaan mission. All eyes are on ISRO and the Indian Navy for the next big mission. Bureau Report, Times Now.